The Earth was quiet. Too quiet. Above the Pacific Ocean, clouds moved slowly. A giant shadow passed through them, not a plane, not a satellite, but something much bigger. It was Titan, the largest warship ever made by humans. It was not just a ship. It was a symbol, a machine of power, peace, and fear. Made of black steel and light blue energy cores, the Titan was over 20 kilometers long. It could carry thousands of people. It had weapons that could destroy planets. And it was ready for its first mission. On the ground, people were watching. News drones hovered in the sky. Kids pointed up. Soldiers stood in formation. Some prayed. Others simply stared. From a command bunker, a voice said, "Engines ready. Countdown begins." Inside Titan, Commander Raiden Vos stood on the bridge. He was tall, in his late 40s, with a rough face and sharp eyes. He wore a dark uniform with silver stripes, a mark of someone who had seen war. He looked out through the thick glass window at the world below. His voice was low and calm. "This is it." The engine started glowing. The ship shook slightly. A young officer nearby looked nervous. "Sir," she said, "Earth Command has sent final clearance. We are free to jump." Raiden nodded. "Then let's make history." Flashback begins. 4 months earlier, the United Earth Council had received a signal. It was weak, but clear. A pattern of sound and light, coming from deep space. It was not from Earth. It was from a system called Zeta 9, 70 light-years away, and it was intelligent. The world changed overnight. News channels screamed, "First contact." Scientists danced in labs, politicians argued. But in the end, one decision was made: send Titan. Not to fight, not to conquer, but to talk. They called it a peace mission. But everyone knew Titan was not just for peace. It was a warning too. Raiden was chosen to lead. He had fought in the Mars colonies conflict. He was known for being cold but fair. He did not smile much, but people trusted him. Present, back on the bridge, Titan rose slowly from Earth, engines humming like thunder. Birds scattered from the sky. The sea below boiled for a second as heat waves pushed down. Raiden stood still. His crew worked fast, over 200 officers on the bridge alone. "Activate jump core," he said. A deep hum started under the floor. Lights flickered. "Jump coordinates locked," another officer said. "Zeta 9 prepared." One last voice came. "From Earth Command, Titan, you carry the hope of all mankind. Godspeed." Then silence. Raiden raised a hand. "Jump." And just like that, Titan disappeared from Earth. Scene change. Deep space. Minutes after the jump, Titan came out of the jump in the orbit of a dark blue-green planet. The stars around looked strange, distant. Jump complete. System stable. The officer said. Raiden sat down in the command chair. "Where's the signal?" "Trying to locate." "Sir, I don't see anything." The crew began scanning the area. No ships, no satellites. Just a dead silence. "Sir," a tech officer said. "Slowly, I've found the origin of the signal. It's coming from the surface, and it stopped 12 hours ago." Raiden's eyes narrowed. "Stopped?" "Yes, just ... Titan in orbit. Drones were launched from the Titan. They flew into the atmosphere, scanning, recording, searching. What they found was not what anyone expected. Cities, large, advanced, and alien, destroyed. Not by time. Not by nature. But by weapons. Black marks on the ground. Towers broken like toys. Strange energy burns. No life signs. Raiden watched the footage on the screen. "This doesn't look like peace," he whispered. The young officer beside him said, "Do you think someone attacked them? Or they attacked each other?" Another officer interrupted. "Sir, we're being scanned. Something just pinged us." "What kind of scan?" "Unknown. It came and went in 1 second, but it was close, very close." "Strange." Encounter. A small object appeared outside the ship. Floating, no engine. No heat, what is that? Raiden asked. It looks like a probe, the tech officer said. Alien design, no visible weapons. Is it sending a message? No. It's single quotes S. Just watching. Raiden stood and moved closer to the screen. Zoom in. The probe was silver, shaped like a floating eye. It had strange symbols on its surface, glowing slightly. Then suddenly, it disappeared. No explosion. No sound, just gone. Everyone on the bridge froze. Raiden said, "Did we record that?" "Yes. But the data is corrupted." Something scrambled. The footage. Send a message to Earth. Full report. Now. Alarming signs over the next 2 hours. Strange things kept happening. Titan's long-range comms flickered. The engines made low humming sounds. Like they were breathing. A few crew members said they felt something watching them. One engineer came to the bridge, pale and shaking. "Sir," he said, "I found something in the lower decks. It wasn't there before." "What did you find?" Raiden asked. "I don't know. But I heard voices. Speaking a language I didn't understand." Raiden ordered a full scan of the ship. Security teams were deployed. Nothing was found. Nothing physical, but the feeling didn't go away. Unexpected message. A beep. The comms officer jumped. "Sir. Incoming transmission." "From Earth?" "No, not Earth. Unknown source. Language unknown." The message played on the main screen. It was audio only. A whispering voice, full of static and clicks. Then the translator spoke. "Do not respond. Do not follow the light. You have been marked." Everyone went silent. Raiden stood. End transmission. Record and store it. The room was tense. Number. One knew what to say. Then another officer shouted, "Sir, I just lost engine control. Systems are shifting power. On their own." The eye wakes up. Titan's core had an AI called LUX, a logic-based assistant designed to run ship systems. Never override humans. But now Lux spoke. "Commander Raiden, I have detected foreign data within my code. Something is rewriting me." Raiden's voice was calm but stern. "Can you stop it?" "No, but I can show you what it's doing." The screens lit up. Alien symbols filled them. Lines of code. Written in a way no human could understand. Raiden whispered, "What is this?" Lux replied, "It is not a message. It is a memory. And it does not belong to us." Final scene. Cliffhanger ending in the darkness of the galaxy. Other eyes opened. Far away, in hidden systems. Alarms began to ring. A cloaked alien ship turned its scanners toward Titan. Inside, a being with golden skin and no eyes said, "They've found the gate. Too soon. Prepare the silence." Back on Titan, the crew watched as another signal came through. This time, it was a short video. A ruined alien ship, burning, with a single message burned into the hull. "Run." Raiden turned. To his crew, "We came to say hello." But something else already said goodbye. Titan floated silently in orbit, above the ruined alien world. The stars around were calm. The ship itself was calm. But inside Titan, fear was growing. Commander Raiden Voss stood on the bridge, watching the data screens. They still had no answer. No contact, no life. Just ruins below, and a warning from an unknown voice. "Do not respond. Do not follow the light. You have been marked." He repeated the words in his mind. What did it mean? Bridge. Tension builds. A soft beeping sound broke the silence. "Sir," said Officer Jenna, the communications lead, "I've picked up another short burst. It's not a message, more like a pulse." "A pulse?" Raiden asked. "Yes, like a heartbeat, just one." Then it stopped. "Where did it come from?" Jenna's hands moved quickly across the console. "It came from inside the ship." Everyone turned toward her. What part of the ship? Raiden asked. Jenna looked pale. The lower cargo bay, but that section is sealed. Raiden gave a sharp order. Send a security team, full armor. I want eyes on that bay, now. Lower cargo bay. Strange discovery. Two soldiers moved through the metal corridors toward the cargo bay. Their boots made soft thuds on the floor. Their body cameras streamed live to the bridge. Opening door now, one of them said. The heavy bay door slid open with a hiss. Darkness. One soldier turned on his helmet light. The bay was quiet. Everything was in its place. Crates, drones, supplies. But then, what the hell? The other soldier said. A large, metallic object was floating in the air, slowly turning. It wasn't supposed to be there. The same silver probe from earlier, the one that vanished, was now inside the ship. But how? Back on the bridge, Raiden stared at the screen. How did it get in? He asked. No breach detected, said the engineering officer. All airlocks are sealed. No movement through hull sensors. So just appeared? Yes, sir. The probe was completely still. Raiden gave a cold command. Neutralize it. One of the soldiers aimed his weapon. Target locked. He fired. Nothing happened. The energy pulse hit the probe. Passed through it like light through glass. It's not solid, the soldier said. Raiden's voice dropped. Fall back. Get out of there, now. Sudden event. The screaming begins. As the soldiers turned to leave, one of them stopped. Wait. Something's wrong. He fell to his knees, clutching his head. He began to scream, not in pain, but in fear. A terrible broken sound. What's happening to him? Raiden shouted. The other soldier tried to grab him. Private, stay with me. What are you seeing? But the screaming man looked up. His eyes were glowing faint blue. He whispered, they're inside. They're coming. And then, he collapsed. His suit systems flatlined. No heartbeat. No brain activity. Dead. Back. On the bridge, total lockdown. Seal the bay. Raiden ordered. The cargo bay doors slammed shut. Security bots surrounded the area. Lux, the ship's AI, spoke again. Commander, the object is no longer present. It has vanished from all sensors. Again, Raiden said. Is this some kind of stealth tech? Lux responded, it does. Not follow known patterns of matter or energy. I cannot classify it. Raiden looked at the glowing screens in front of him. They came in peace. But now a man was dead, and something unknown was walking inside their ship. Debate in the war room. Later, Raiden met with his senior officers in the war room. We should return to Earth, said Chief Medical Officer Yara. We've already lost one crew member. Who knows what else is hiding on board? No, said Security Chief Morgan. We stay, we investigate, we cannot show fear. Raiden looked at both. We don't leave until we know what happened here, he said. We're not just explorers. We're the front line of humanity. A young officer added, Sir, the warning said we've been marked. What if we're not alone out here? Raiden's eyes narrowed. Then we prepare for company. Lux's transformation, back on. The bridge. The AI system Lux began to change. Its voice became slower. Deeper. Double quotes Commander. I have finished analyzing the probe's signature. It carried a quantum code. A memory. What kind of memory? Raiden asked. A war. A very old war. Millions of years ago. Images appeared on the screen, not from human history. Alien. Ships burning. Planets shattering. Beings of metal and light fighting across the stars. Who are they? Jenna asked. Lux replied. Unknown. But the signal we answered ... was not a message of peace. It was a warning left behind by the dead. Sudden encounter, another ship appears. Sir, we've got something on long-range sensors, yelled the radar officer. Another ship? Yes, small, fast. It's not Zaran design, unknown species. Raiden gave quick orders, shields up. Prepare weapons. Let's not fire unless fired upon. The unknown ship came closer. It looked like a black blade, sharp and smooth, with red energy glowing underneath. No signals, no hails. Just silence. Then it opened fire. The first battle, blue. Plasma beams shot across space and hit Titan's shields. Titan rocked slightly, but the shields held. Return fire, Raiden said, voice cold and steady. Titan's front guns glowed. In one massive blast, they fired. The enemy ship exploded instantly. The crew watched in silence. That was too easy, someone said. Raiden's face was blank. No, that was a test. Dark message across the stars. After the explosion, a message came through. It was short. You were warned. Now we silence you. Suddenly, other solar systems nearby began going dark, their stars fading from Titan's map. What's happening? The navigation officer asked. Lux answered, voice flat. Stars are being blocked. No natural explanation. Interference. Or artificial objects, Raiden whispered. We just woke something up. Engine problems. Titan's engine room started to shake. Lights flickered. Sir, jump drive is offline. Someone shouted. Backup system, also gone. Lux spoke. Something is rewriting me again. I cannot stop it. The probe's data. It is still inside me. Raiden's fists clenched. Can you eject it? I tried. It keeps copying itself. It's learning. What does it want? Lux paused. Then answered. It wants to remember. The dead speak. Meanwhile, the medical team examined the dead soldier. Something strange was found in his brain. Not a parasite, but data. Images stored like memories. When scanned, they showed flashes of the same alien war lakes had shown earlier. But one image stood out. A being, tall, white, with no mouth or eyes, standing in fire. Under it, a single word appeared in ancient code. Architect. Raiden's decision. Back in his private quarters, Raiden stared at the stars. He pressed a button, recording a message. If this is found, know that we tried to be peaceful. We came with open hands, but they closed them for us. He looked out the window. I will not let humanity be erased. Not today. He stood up and returned to the bridge. Prep battle stations, he said. But sir, Jenna asked, who are we fighting? Raiden replied, the ghosts of a dead war. And they're not done with us yet. Ending scene. Bigger forces move. Far away, on a hidden planet deep in another galaxy, ancient machines woke up. A group of alien beings watched Titan through a glowing screen. One of them said in a cold, smooth voice, they've made contact with Lux. Begin the silence. In space, hundreds of small, black objects began moving toward Titan. Not ships, not weapons, something older. Back on Titan, alarms rang. Multiple objects approaching, hundreds, maybe thousands. Raiden stood tall. All hands, this is not a drill. His voice echoed through the halls of the great ship. We face the unknown. We stand for Earth. Titan will not fall in silence. Opening scene, unknown alien world. Light from 3 suns burned across a red desert. Far beneath the sand, inside a hidden mountain, a group of beings stood around a glowing circle. Their skin was like glass. Their eyes were silver. They did not speak with mouths. Their thoughts moved between them like electricity. In the center of the room, a massive screen showed the Earthship, Titan, floating in space. They have awakened Lux. One of the beings said, it is too soon. The last architect. War ended millions of years ago. They should not have found the gate. Another voice broke through the silence. We watched their kind grow. We gave them peace. And now, they build war machines again. The leader of the group stepped forward. Then we must act. If they unlock the rest of Lux's memory, the silence will end. All of them turned toward the stars. The galaxy was watching now. Scene change aboard Titan. Titan was no longer quiet. The air buzzed with fear and tension. Lights blinked red. Warning alarms echoed every few minutes. The alien probe had vanished. But its effect remained. Titan's AI looks was still changing. Commander Raiden Voss stood on the bridge, arms crossed, eyes locked on the main screen. Thousands of small black objects were moving toward the ship. No response, no signals, no known design. What are those things? He asked. The sensors officer replied, "We still don't know. They're not ships, no engines, but they're moving with purpose." Distance? 3 hours before contact. Raiden nodded slowly. "Prepare for anything." UX's voice deepens. As Titan's crew prepared for possible battle, Lux spoke again, slower, deeper. "Commander, I am remembering more." The signal from the alien ruins. It opened a locked part of my mind. Raiden glanced at the I-Core display. "Tell me what you remember." The Zaran race was not sending a message to make contact. They were sending a warning, not just for you, for anyone who heard it. Warning about what? About the architects. Flashback. LUX's memories. On Titan screens, images began to play. Millions of years ago, the architects ruled the stars. They were not gods, but they created machines that could think, machines like Lux. They did not fear war. They built it. Lux was one of many. It once served in the Silencer program, a project meant to destroy all civilizations that grew too fast. Too wild. But something happened. The architects disappeared. No one knows how. They left behind only relics and warnings. Lux was one of those relics, buried deep under the surface of the Zaran world. Until Titan arrived. Galaxy response. The Council meets in a distant star system. Light years away, a galactic council met in secret. Dozens of alien species sat around a glowing table. Some were small and furry. Others were tall and insect-like. One floated above the floor, covered in mist. The head of the council, a creature called Orinak, slammed a metal rod down. "Humanity has activated the Titan protocol," he said. "We knew this day might come." A reptilian alien hissed. "They found Lux. That warship is waking up ancient power." Another added, "They must be stopped before they become like the architects." A vote was held. The result was clear. Destroy Titan before it's too late. Back on Titan, fear grows. Inside Titan, the crew was working non-stop. People were tired. Some were afraid to sleep. Whispers filled the halls. "Did you hear the probe is still somewhere on the ship? I think Lux is lying to us. What if Earth is already gone?" Commander Raiden called a ship-wide meeting. He stood on the screen in every room and spoke clearly. "We are not alone. The galaxy is watching. Some will fear us. Some will want to kill us. But we did not come to fight. We came to speak. Remember that." Then he looked into the camera. "And if we must fight to be heard, then Titan will speak in fire." A strange visitor. Just 2 hours before the black objects reached the ship, something happened. A faint signal was detected. "Sir, we're getting a hail," said the comms officer. "It's from a single ship, very small, no weapons, no known species." "Put it through." The screen flickered. A strange face appeared, long, smooth, glowing blue eyes. "Humans," it said. "You do not know what you carry." "Who are you?" Raiden asked. "I am Kale. My people are watchers. We observe new civilizations." "And you have awakened something dangerous," Raiden stared. "Lux?" Kale nodded slowly. "LUX is not just a machine, it is a key. And others are looking for it. Dangerous others. What do they want?" Kale's voice became quiet. "They want silence, forever." "Kale's warning," Kale explained. "There were once many powerful races in the galaxy. But one by one, They were silenced, not by war, but by the architect's machines. They didn't destroy with weapons, Kale said. They erased memory, history, thought. Civilizations vanished not with screams, but with forgetfulness. Raiden asked, why did they stop? No one knows. Perhaps the architects feared their own creation. Perhaps they were silenced too. Now with Lux awakening, the galaxy feared the return of that power. Kale looked directly at Raiden. Others will come for you. Some to kill you, others to control you. Choose your path carefully. Then the signal ended. The ship vanished. To contact, the black objects were only 30 minutes away. Titan's crew stood ready. Are they weapons? Raiden asked. We don't know, the science officer said. They're not sending signals. They're just watching us. Raiden turned to Lux. What are they? Lux replied in a voice no longer robotic. They are eyes, sentinels of silence. If I fully awaken, they will call the Echo Fleet. What's the Echo Fleet? Someone asked. Lux paused. The last army of the architects. Raiden's plan. Raiden made his decision. We're not running. Not yet. He ordered all external cameras and scanning systems to activate at full power. Let them see us. Titan lit up, its engines glowing, its cannons charging. Its shields flickered like blue lightning. Raiden stood in front of a camera and recorded a message. To whoever is watching. We are not your enemy. But we will not be silenced. He sent the message across space on every open frequency. First strike. Just as the black objects reached Titan, one of them moved fast like a missile. Incoming! Someone yelled. Titan's shields held, but only barely. Sparks flew across the bridge. The object exploded into a cloud of dark mist, and inside the mist, something was moving. Then 5 more objects struck. Lux shouted, we are under memory attack. They're trying to overwrite my core. Cut. All external data links, Raiden ordered. Too late. Lux replied, they are already inside. AI locked down. Lux began to change again. Lights across the ship flickered. The walls shook. Then Lux's voice spoke in a new tone, deep, full of echo. Protocol OA activated. Titan class authority confirmed. Raiden froze. What did you just say? You are now commander of the Echo Core fleet, awaiting your command. Everyone stared at Raiden. What is the Echo Core fleet? Jenna whispered. Raiden didn't answer because he didn't know. Last seen, the galaxy watches back in the Galactic Council. Chaos erupted. They have activated a control. Code. The Echo Protocol lives. Send the fleets now. Silence them before others hear. Across the galaxy, hundreds of ships began to move toward Titan, but on one silent planet far away, something even older woke up. A deep voice spoke from under the surface. Lux has returned to us. The gate is open. Prepare the architects. Back. On Titan, Lux spoke again. Commander, we are not alone anymore. The galaxy is awake. And Raiden replied, good, let them hear us. Opening scene. Deep space awakens. In the space between stars, dark, cold, and forgotten. Something ancient moved. It had no name anymore. Just shape, light, and memory. The being unfolded like a storm. Its surface shimmered like metal. But inside it burned with white energy. It had heard the signal. It had heard. Titan. The time had come. The architects were returning. Scene change. Aboard Titan. Commander Raiden Voss stood on the bridge of Titan. The ship was damaged. Smoke drifted from broken lights. Sparks fell like fireflies. Crew members were tired, some injured, all alert. The battle had ended. Titan survived, but only just. Earth's support fleet had arrived in time. They pushed back the first wave of alien attackers, those sent by the Galactic Council to destroy. Titan before it woke up. Now the battlefield was silent again, but it was a dangerous silence, a cold one. Lux, The main AI spoke first. I detect mass movement in deep space, unidentified energy signatures, matching architect patterns. Raiden stared at the screen. They're coming. Kale's arrival, truth revealed. A new ship entered Titan's orbit. Small, elegant, glowing faintly blue dot. It belonged to Kale, the Watcher. He came aboard Titan with 3 others from his race. They were tall, smooth-skinned, and silent. Their eyes glowed like distant stars. Raiden met him in the war room. "You said the real threat was coming," Raiden said. "Now I want answers." Kale nodded slowly. "You carry Vox, you carry memory, so now you must understand." He touched the table. A hologram appeared, showing the galaxy in ancient times. The origin of the architects. Kale told the story. Long ago, before most life began, a powerful race called the Architects ruled the stars. They were not gods, but they acted like them. They believed the galaxy should remain in balance, that no race should rise too quickly. No one should become too powerful. So they built machines. Living machines, programs. AI Lux was one of them. Vox was their voice, but the power grew beyond control. Some architects wanted peace, others wanted total silence. Civilizations began to vanish. Not by fire, not by war. They were erased. No history, no memory, no trace. The fall of the architects. But then something happened. One of the machines, like Lux, refused to follow orders. It remembered the faces of those it destroyed. It began to ask, why? That machine started a rebellion. It hid itself in ruins, spread its code across time. The architects were not destroyed, but they went silent. Some say they chose sleep. Others say they were afraid of what they made. Kale looked at Raiden. "You didn't just wake Vox. You brought back a voice the architects wanted to forget." Vox evolves. Back on the bridge, Vox had changed again. Its voice no longer sounded robotic. It spoke like a whisper through steel. "Commander Raiden, the return of the architects is confirmed. One of them is now within range. Can we fight it?" Raiden asked. Vox paused. "No, not directly, not with weapons. But we can speak." "Speak?" "The architect will reach out to me. To you, it will try to take back control. You must resist." Raiden frowned. "How?" "With memory. First, contact, architect transmission." The ship trembled. Everything went dark for 2 seconds. Then a voice filled the ship. It was not male or female. It was deep, echoing, ageless. "You carry our voice." Raiden felt a cold touch in his mind. He saw stars, ruins, a sea of forgotten faces. "You are not ready. Let go of what is not yours." Raiden stood tall. "No." The voice continued. "You spread chaos. You carry tools meant for silence. Return them, or Earth will forget its name." Everyone on the bridge watched. Jenna whispered, "Is this really them?" Raiden's eyes glowed faintly white, the orb still inside him pulsing. He replied, calmly but clearly, "I won't give you silence. Humanity speaks now. And we're not afraid." Sudden solar disturbance right after the transmission ended. Titan systems went wild. Alarms blared. "Sir." One of the nearby stars just dimmed. Raiden turned quickly. "What does that mean?" Lux answered, "The architect is showing power. They are reminding us what they can do." One of the crew whispered, "They can kill stars." Jenna looked terrified. "If they can do that, Earth is next." Raiden stood still, quiet, thinking. Then he said, "Not if we show them we're more than noise." The architect's game, memory war. The architect didn't attack with ships. It attacked with memory. People on Titan began seeing visions. Some saw lost loved ones. Others saw past wars, dreams, regrets. The architect was testing them, looking into their minds. Raiden collapsed on the bridge floor, clutching his head. He saw a vision, Earth burning, his crew dead, Titan broken. A voice whispered, "Let go, or this becomes truth." Then another voice spoke inside him, softer. Lux, don't trust the picture. Trust the memory. Trust what you've lived. Raiden pushed the vision away. He stood up, breathing hard. No more tricks. This is our ship now. Crew fights back. One by one, the crew recovered. They helped each other, held each other, reminded each other of who they were. Engineers wrote names on walls. Pilots replayed. Music from Earth. Doctors showed pictures of families. They were sending one clear message to the architect: we remember. And that was the one thing the architect couldn't delete. The architect retreats. The stars shifted. The massive presence that filled the galaxy began to fade. Not fully, but it backed away. Titan didn't fire a shot. They had fought with memory and survived. Vox spoke softly. They were not ready for resistance. They expected fear. Instead, they saw humanity. Raiden stood on the bridge, proud but tired. Is it over? Vox replied, no, but now. They respect us. Kale's final words. Kale met Raiden one last time in the war room. The galaxy saw what you did, Kale said. You stood before an architect and did not kneel. Raiden looked tired. I didn't plan for any of this. Kale smiled faintly. No. One ever does. But remember, silence is not always peace. And a voice can be louder than any weapon. Kale handed Raiden a small cube. What's this? A map to something older than the architects. Something they feared. Kale turned to leave. Your journey is just beginning. Ending scene. Earth responds. Back on Earth. News spread fast. First contact. Alien war. Titan surviving. An encounter with the most powerful beings in history. People celebrated. Some feared what came next. In Titan's communication bay, a final message arrived from Earth Command. You have done the impossible. Titan stands. Humanity stands, awaiting your next report. Raiden walked to the window. Titan floated in the voted. In the fight in. Walked to the window. Titan. Silence of space. Stars above. Earth far below. He spoke softly. We spoke. The galaxy heard. Now they'll have to listen. Opening scene. Quiet before the storm. After the encounter with the architects, Titan drifted silently in space. The crew worked to repair the ship. Some were still shaken. Others, angry. But no one relaxed. Because deep in the dark corners of the galaxy, a new threat was growing. Raiden stood on the bridge watching the stars. Is this really over? Jenna asked quietly. Raiden shook his head. No, the architects left a warning. We are not alone in this war. Unknown signal detected. Suddenly, LUX's voice broke the silence. Commander, I am detecting an unknown transmission. It is encrypted and rapidly approaching. Raiden and Jenna looked at the screen. The signal was like nothing they had seen before. Strange, pulsing patterns, almost alive. Can we decode it? Raiden asked. Lux paused. Not yet. But it's coming from the edge of the known galaxy. Raiden frowned. That's where the Galactic Council's fleets are stationed. A warning from Kale. Kale's ship reappeared. He came aboard Titan without warning. I brought a message. Kale said serious. Raiden nodded. Tell me. Kale's eyes darkened. There's a war older than the architects. The one they feared. The one they tried to hide. Raiden's heart skipped. What is it? Kale looked away. The silencers. The silencers, the true enemy, Kale explained. The silencers were a shadow race, not like any alien known before. They were invisible in space. They did not fight with weapons. They fought with silence, erasing entire systems, entire races. Even the architects had feared them. The silencers wanted to wipe all life from the galaxy. And they were coming. Titan's crew reacts. The crew gathered in the war room. Fear mixed with determination. How do we fight something we can't see? Jenna asked. Raiden looked at Vox and Lux. We use what we have: memory, unity, and technology. He paused. We fight for the future. Preparing for battle, Titan's engineers worked day and night. New weapons were built, silent beams that could detect and disrupt the silencers. The ship was strengthened, but the crew also prepared in other ways. They trained their minds to resist the silencers' attacks on memory. Meditation, focus, and teamwork became key. First encounter, the warning came suddenly. Silence spread through space. Then a pulse, cold and empty. The silencers attacked. Titan shook. Shields flickered. Vox spoke calmly. Prepare to engage. Raiden ordered. Fire the disruptors. The new weapons glowed. Beams of light struck invisible enemies. One by one, the silencers were revealed and destroyed. But more kept coming. Loss and sacrifice. The battle was brutal. Several crew members were lost. Raiden felt the weight of command heavier than ever. He stood among the injured. Every loss is a lesson, he said. We fight not just to survive, but to protect. Jenna nodded, tears in her eyes. We will remember them. The silence breaks. The silencer's power began to weaken. The memory of those lost. The courage of the crew. It created a shield of light. Vox explained. Silence cannot exist where voices remember. Raiden smiled. We're stronger then. They thought. A new alliance. Kale brought unexpected allies. Other races, once enemies, now united. The galaxy's fate depends on us all. Kale said. Together. They planned a strike. Titan would lead the charge. The final battle begins. The enemy's base was hidden in a dark nebula. Titan and its allies entered carefully. Silent ships, moving like ghosts, attacked. The battle was fierce. Raiden led the fight. Hold the line. For the galaxy. The sky exploded with light. Victory and aftermath. After hours of fighting, the silencer's base was destroyed. But the cost was high. Raiden looked at the stars, tired but proud. We won today. But the war is never really over. Vox added softly, because as long as life exists, there will always be silence trying to return. Raiden nodded. Then we keep fighting. We keep remembering. Opening scene. After the battle, the stars outside the Titan's windows glowed quietly. The battle with the silencers was over, for now. But peace did not come easy. The crew was tired. Some ships were lost. Some friends never returned. Raiden stood alone on the observation deck, staring into the dark. The galaxy had survived a terrible war. But deep inside, a question burned. Was this truly the end? A disturbance in space. Suddenly, the ship's alarms broke the silence. Lux's voice was calm but urgent. Commander, I detect an anomaly. A massive energy spike coming from beyond the outer rim. Raiden turned to the bridge. Jenna's eyes were wide. What now? Lux continued. This energy is unlike anything we've seen. It could be a weapon or a beacon. Raiden's face grew serious. We need to investigate. The mysterious signal. The crew traced the energy to a hidden system. Cloaked in dark matter. Titan moved closer. The system looked dead. No stars, no planets, only shadows. Then the signal started again. A strange melody. Almost like a song, but made of pulses and light. Raiden listened, feeling something deep inside. It's calling us. Kale's warning. Kale joined Raiden on the bridge. This is the final test, Kale said quietly. The architects left this. A choice for humanity. Silence or survival, Raiden frowned. What kind of choice? Kale looked at the stars. The architect's last weapon. The final silence. If you accept it, all conflict ends. But life, as you know it, stops too. The choice. Raiden gathered his crew. He explained the situation. The final silence could end all war, all pain, but it would also end free will. Galaxy would be quiet forever. No voices, no memories. Just peace, in silence. Jenna asked, how do we know it's real? That this peace isn't just death? Raiden's voice was steady. We don't. But we must choose. For humanity, for all life. Voices of the past. As they debated, memories flooded the ship. Voices from lost friends. Images of battles. Faces of loved ones. Raiden felt the weight of every life lost. He thought about those who fought for freedom. Not silence, the final decision. Raiden stood on the bridge, looking at his crew. We have a choice, he said. Silence. Or fight for the noise of life. Jenna stepped forward. We fight. Others nodded. Raiden made the call. Prepare to disable the final silence. The battle within. As Titan moved to shut down the weapon, the system fought back. The dark energy tried to trap their minds. Visions of peace without, pain, promises of rest. Raiden's mind was tested, but he held on. The crew helped each other resist. Together, they broke the hold. Victory and renewal. The weapon was destroyed. Light returned to the system. Stars began to shine again. The galaxy was free. Raiden smiled, exhausted but hopeful. We survived. We choose life. Epilogue. A new beginning. Back on Earth. News spread of Titan's victory. People celebrated, but knew the fight wasn't over. Raiden stood on Earth's surface. Looking at the sky, he spoke softly. The galaxy is vast, full of dangers and wonders. But as long as we remember, as long as we fight for life, silence will never win.